Oh my God, we're live. All right, look at this beautiful music room. I love it. All right, so I know there's nobody here. It's March Madness. I get it. One of the biggest powerlifting competitions is going on right now too. So I feel your pain, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Today we're talking about pedal height, setting it, some basic tips, just some ergonomics. I know I deal with like limited left ankle mobility, probably just from lifting and other sports I did when I was younger. So we all got some things we got to deal with, and we're just going to kind of talk about my basic recommendations. But before we dive into actually setting the pedals, I wanted to just talk about some basic ideas before we actually dive in. So you're looking at my guitar right now. Let's um, let's kind of pull in. So one thing to kind of think about is first we got setting pedal height kind of starts from wherever we sit. You can see I've got this seat on a little pad. That's because my seat that I tour with that like stays in the tour bus is a little bit taller. So I always want to keep kind of that same height. You can see from this angle that my guitar looks like it's got a pretty serious lean to it. Um, and one thing, of course, by changing the back legs, it'll affect the angle of the pedal bar, right? Just to be like super extreme, right? Those pedals are really high now, whereas if you really backed it off, the pedals would get closer to the floor. And this is our pedal bar, of course. Other things to consider. Hey, David. Yeah, if anybody wants to say hey, please let me know. Other things to consider. Different steels are going to have different lengths of pedals. Sorry, this won't be so wobbly in a bit. I'll set it back up, but I just wanted to get close in. Of course, what side your rod attaches to. I know like my old Carter, it attached here, so there wasn't quite as much pedal and it made them a little bit stiffer. Stuff like that. Of course, like the width of your guitar, um, how tall you are, how long your arms are, all those kinds of things. Hey, John, good to see you. Well, kind of. Um, so let's. Oh, I also forgot to mention, I just posted a little basic tips sheet on the Patreon. It's open to everyone, even if you're not a member. Just go to patreon.com/pedal steel and you can print this off real quick. This is just some basic guidelines. All right, so again, let me get this camera on, the stand. Okay, I think for this first little demonstration, talking about seat height, actually I might just not even use the guitar real quick. Let me back this off. Total annoying. Okay. So just sitting here, right? If I can take the seat all the way up, this is probably a little bit too high. See how I'm just like, my legs are kind of angled down, and I'm gonna have a hard time kind of getting um, that ankle mobility, right? So we want to be, and if I'm down here, right now I've got this problem to where my guitar's too high, and I'm kind of playing like this, right? So that's not good either. We want to be somewhere, somewhere where I've got right kind of a nice arm angle to the guitar. Um, my hips are comfortable, right? And depending on whether I'm wearing a heel or not is also going to come into the equation later on. So if you do wear a heel when you play, whether it's like boots or dress shoes, go ahead and throw those on, because that will affect a little bit, right, where my knee ends up resting. Um, So hopefully that kind of answers some seat heights. If you look at like the little basic tips sheet, essentially what I say is that your pedal height starts from where you're sitting, right? Kind of like what we just said. If I'm sitting real down low, I'm going to have a different angle towards the pedals. All right, so let me throw on my boots. Let's see, Dave said, are you super fussy about your exact seat position? Yes, I am super fussy. Like I just said, I've got that little pad under my seat now, so it's the exact same height as my seat that's on the road, and I practice in my boots. Of course, you know, there are things out of our control, like if you're playing on a stage with a bunch of carpet, right, your pedals, the main thing is we don't want our pedals to be blocked by the carpet, right? So you might end up, you know, tilting your guitar more to clear the floor, but we'll get into that. So, all right. So we talked about having a comfortable seat height, should allow leg mobility as well as comfortable arm reach and angle to the guitar. Do our best to keep the same chair and guitar height for continuity. Once we have a comfortable seated position, we can adjust the back legs of the guitar to raise or lower the neck. So that's kind of the second step. Let me bring this over. Just in case y'all are asking me questions, I can see. All right, so I've got my comfortable seat height. There is like, you know, your guitar can only get so low or so high, right? No matter how much I raise these legs, that's how high the guitar is getting, right? And if I lower it, it's really only affecting a little bit of like the arm, right? As I do this, you can see that would have to change. Or if I moved it down, that would affect my arm angle as well. So now that I've got my comfortable seat height, I just want to sit at my guitar, and again, like the sheet says, set it to where I'm just kind of real comfortable here. Kind of one of those mistakes is like having a crooked arm here, because it's set like it's leaning too much, or let me just go ahead and back it off. We're doing the thing, so we might as well go all the way, right? This is at its bottom position, right? Here, obviously my legs can't clear the guitar. So, obviously not an option. And as I start bringing it up, it starts getting better. And once you're kind of in a comfortable position there, that's really about where it should be. We also have to keep in mind that, right, we're going to have to be able to, for our pedals to clear the floor. If it's too down here, we're going to have to set that pedal height really high to be able to clear, and that's not good for the ankle. So somewhere really kind of moderate. And like I showed you in the very beginning, it kind of looks like my guitar is level here, but if you got on the side, you would see that it's actually kind of angled like that, right? It's got a little bit of a tilt forward. So that's the next thing to set. After we have our seat, we set the guitar height. And I'll just throw down the first one, tighten it up. Throw the other one down, tighten it up. All right. So again, I've got a nice comfortable seated position, nice elbow angles to the guitar, and I don't have to raise my foot crazy high to be able to get to the pedals. Okay. So next thing, what did I do with my little sheet? That's over here. All right, so we said once we have a seated position, we can adjust the back legs of the guitar to raise or lower the neck. This will also change the angle of the pedal bar, like we said. If it's really backed up, the pedals get higher. If it's really low, the pedals get lower. That's why we should tackle the issue of guitar height first before we go messing around with pedals. Because if I set my pedals first and they're like all great, and then I realize I can't get my foot in there, I've got to leave my guitar and totally redo the pedals. A heeled shoe will change ankle angle and affect all the things previously mentioned accordingly, right? It can be kind of subtle, but it'll definitely change the height of your pedals. I'm a man of style, in case you didn't know, so I wear boots when I play, and so that's just what I do all the time, and all my guitars are set for that. Okay, once the seat and guitar height is set, we can move on to the pedals. Oh, I forgot to finish this sentence. The A and C pedals have longer travel, so that's going to affect their height. The B pedal, of course, has the least because it's only doing a half step. I like to start with the B pedal first. Let me pull you in real close now. Love it, all changing all these camera angles. Oh, I don't think it's a bad habit, Alan. I think if that's how you play, there's plenty of guys that play in like, moccasins or whatever, boat shoes that are great players. That's just what's comfortable for them. And I'm definitely not recommending one over the other. But I definitely believe in some kind of continuity when you're practicing. Let's see. See if I can zoom in here. Oh, I can zoom in. Cool. Okay. So, yeah, that actually looks all right. So you can see this is my zero pedal. It's set kind of high. So we're going to ignore that one for now. Here's my A pedal, my B pedal, and my C pedal. So with the B pedal, we'll set that one first. The main thing is that we want it to be able to clear the ground, plus a little bit, like I said, in case there's carpet. Right, if there's a bunch of carpet there, it's not going to be able to press down all the way. So just a nice place to where you can press your B pedal with your left toe and right. I'm sorry, left toe with the left side of your foot and the right side of your foot. I'll kind of demonstrate that now. So left side of the foot, right? I can press my B pedal down, and I'm not pressing my C pedal at all. I've actually got quite a bit there. And then same thing with A and B. I want to be able to press with the right side of my foot and not engage that A at all. So I definitely recommend having this one set the lowest. You can kind of start by thinking about where your A and C pedals are going to be based on your ankle mobility, right? And then of course the guitar lean. Because like I said, A and C pedals are going to have more travel, so they're going to need to be up higher, right, to be able to clear the floor. So again, first thing, you can kind of just, if you're starting totally fresh, you can kind of just drop your A and C pedals really. Like I said, we're going all the way, so I'm just going to drop them. All right. So there. All right. I can press it with both sides of my foot. It's clearing the floor, and it's super easy on my ankle. All right. Next thing, and at the bottom of my little basic tips sheet, it says we're not going to get it perfect the first time. So don't expect that. We're definitely going to have to do some adjusting afterwards. The next thing I'm going to do is bring my A pedal up. And actually, just for funsies, I'm going to, actually, shoot, I think I have them Loctited. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to adjust them right now because I have them Loctited so they don't mess around when my guitar is flying. So unfortunately, I won't be able to show you that on this one. But actually, this rod isn't Loctited. Okay. So adjusting, to adjust, the basic adjustment, right, is this nut here, right? We back it off. So if I'm looking at it clockwise, we'll raise the pedal, and same thing with this. And when I do it counterclockwise, it's lowering, right? So that'll lower the pedal. And of course, not this. I end up having to turn this. Where's my little tool? Let's go there. So before I adjust it, let's actually throw this one on there, just so we can show what it looks like when it's bad. Okay, so you can kind of see now, this pedal's really high, B pedal's where we like it. And we're just going to try it out. So, first thing, right, when pressed down with the left side of the foot, it should clear the B pedal and the floor. So let's try that. Do we want to turn the amp on? Let's turn the amp on. Okay. So it can do that, right? I can press my A pedal with the left side of the foot, it clears the B pedal, and it clears the floor. Okay, the second thing, the second requirement, we should be able to press the B pedal with the right side of the foot and clear A. So now I'm going to play string 5, right? So we can hear if the A pedal accidentally gets engaged when I press the B pedal. Right? So now I know I can't press just the B pedal without accidentally hitting A, so A needs to come down. And we will do that. So like I said, first we have to back. Oh, that's the wrong rod. So we'll take the, and you don't have to take the whole rod off, right? You can just do it from here if it's loose, but I'm going to take it off just so you can see better. Okay, so we know we want it to go down, right? So we're going to do it counterclockwise, but first we got to back that off. And I'm just going to, there's a little bit of like residual Loctite in there, so I'm going to have to use my pliers a bit. And I'm just going to start with one. Well, it was pretty egregious how much the A pedal got engaged when I pressed B, so I'll give it like 2 turns. All right. We'll put it back on. Just looking at it, right, I can almost like fit my whole hand in between. So I'm going to go ahead and lower it some more. I know that's not going to be enough. Okay, we'll give it a couple more turns. All right, 1, 2, and I'll go 3. 3. All right, throw it back on. Looking a bit better. Let's go ahead and try it out. So left side of foot is still good. I can still clear the B pedal and the floor. And now we'll try the other. frets. It's probably needs to come down. It's not affecting the pitch, but it's right there, right? Because you know your pedal has a little give before it actually starts pulling. Just that little bit of tension right there. So it's not changing the pitch, but it's any little bit, it's gonna start going. So we'll bring it down another couple turns. Let me know if y'all are having any questions with this. Okay, counterclockwise, a couple more. 1, 2. All right, put it back. That's looking pretty realistic. You can see it's maybe 2-3 millimeters higher. We'll go ahead and test that out. Press the just the A pedal. Pretty good. Try just the B. And then the last thing to consider is how does it feel pressing them together at the same time. So it definitely works, right? It covers all the things. I just don't quite like how it feels. It's a little bit too close to the B. I do have enough ankle mobility that I'm going to raise this one back up. Right, so I got to turn it that way. I'm just going to leave it on there and try to turn it with my fingers. Cool, so I raised it back up just one turn. Boom. I'll try it again. All right. I think that's pretty good. So you can see that A pedal's set a little bit higher than my B. Let me see if I can bring you around a little bit. Show you how they clear the floor. Pull you out of here. You can see from the side, it's a little bit higher. Clears almost, can almost get my finger under there. This one, I can get my full finger in a little bit more. All right, so we've got A and B set. Now we'll tackle C. It's essentially the same. Oops. What did I do there? There we go. Essentially the same process. So I'm not really going to dive into it too much. But we'll attach the rod. And then same thing. Right, we're just going to do our tests until it feels good, right? We want to be able to press the B pedal without hitting C. Right, so I'm picking my 4th string and pressing my B pedal to see if I accidentally engage it. I don't. Let's see if I can hit my C pedal without hitting B. Yeah, just barely. And then how does it feel when I press both of them? Feels pretty good. So those are kind of the tests with your A, B, and C pedals. Right, and it's really just a matter of taking your time with it, tweaking it a little bit at a time. I think normally my guitar is a little bit higher than this, but not so much that it's a big deal being able to press everything. All right. Next thing we want to test is, well, actually, before we start testing combos, let's see. Yeah, Alan, kind of a V shape for sure. Again, if we kind of pull in really close, let's see, we can get like a nice side shot there. So A pedal, my A pedal is definitely the highest, and then B pedal. C pedal is actually just slightly above, my B pedal, but since it has a further travel, right? Because it's a whole step raise, it actually goes lower to the floor than my B pedal. And that's why I noticed that my guitar actually the legs aren't set as high as usual, because you see how it just barely clears the floor. So that means I actually normally probably have them up a bit higher like that. So again, if you do end up in this situation where you just can't get it right, you can reconsider about guitar angle, right? Back leg height. So you actually tilt that pedal bar a bit more, and now you have some more options with your pedal height. Okay. Any questions so far? All right. I guess I'm perfect at explaining this stuff then. Okay, we'll briefly talk about levers. So, let's see if we can get a look at the levers here. And bring it up a bit. Thanks, Hob. Okay, so you can see I've got 5 levers. I'm gonna go ahead and give you the money shot, so you can kind of see. Levers should be really as tight as possible without accidentally engaging them. So you can see when my legs, we'll look at my left leg right now. I can go from A to B, B and C, and I'm not going to accidentally hit my E flat lever. So I can do that, but at the same time I don't want it so far out that I want to be able to get that B and E flat lever. If it's out here, so if it was further out here, that means my knee would have to come further this way, and I'm gonna, if it's too far out, I'm gonna start having to hit that C pedal to be able to engage the E flat lever all the way. So having it nice and tight, as tight as possible, I can do that without accidentally hitting that C. Actually, while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and raise this up just a tiny bit. Ooh, we got a comment there. Let me see. Best way to heighten your chair? I don't know if I've got my guitar on like a little stall mat. That's definitely an option. I really haven't thought of any other way to do it aside from that. Okay, so we'll look at the F lever now, It's still, I've got like maybe an inch or 2 on each side. Same thing, I want to be able to hit that A and F inversion, If it's super way out here, this way, let me kind of show you. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so actually we'll move it in too close right now. So if it's in too close, I run the risk of accidentally raising that 4th string, just moving my leg around, So we'll move it the other direction now. Let's see. I'm going to turn 1, 2. See if we can move it in as much as possible. So now I've got like 3 inches there. And that's not so much of a problem, right? Because I'm never going to accidentally engage it. But the problem we run into is when I'm hitting this A and F inversion, my knee's so far out this way that now it's going to take me a long time to get back over here. So having it nice and tight in like this, right, I only have to move my knee a tiny bit. And that's going to eventually help me out in the long run. So let's see. So we'll loosen that up. Let me go ahead and back off a little bit so you can see the pedals too. There we go. Okay. All right. So we looked at the E flat and F lever. So with right leg, kind of depends where you're comfortable with your volume pedal. I like having mine, I just like being able to sit comfortably, right? That's like where we started this whole thing, is I want to be able to sit comfortably and not be accidentally hitting any of my levers. So I have my right knee right pretty tight, right? I don't want to have to go super far to get there. And I don't run the risk of ever accidentally hitting it when I'm working my volume pedal, right? So, and you can see I also have this lever in pretty tight. So it really just like clears my leg on each side about maybe 3/4 of an inch. Of course I have my 1, 2, and 7 rays here. And kind of same idea, I don't want to way out here because it's going to take me forever to be able to get, if the lever was here, I would have to spend so much time trying to get over there that it's just going to slow me down. So I got them nice and tight here. Vertical lever. This one is kind of tricky. So how to set your vertical lever, there should be a little screw down here. We're going to kind of just start to turn it so there's some stiffness there, but just barely. And then as we push it up, we're going to add some more pressure to that knob so that it's not going anywhere. Something also to notice is that there is some give there before it actually starts going, right? What do I have there? Oh yeah. I've got the 6th string lower. But I've also got before it does anything. So I like to have it kind of resting on my leg to where it's not being engaged. The main thing is I don't want to have to like really raise my foot super far off the ground, and I also want to be able to press my pedals and also engage that lever at the same time, right? So really as low as you can have it, again, with being able to get the E and F, right? Right, I'm good. I could actually maybe even lower it a tiny bit, because there's like maybe like an inch there before I actually start engaging it. So again, nice and tight. All right, and that was step 3. Step 4, now try hitting pedal and lever combos. We kind of talked about the B and E flat lever one. Try it with both sides of the foot. So we'll try B pedal with the toe, E flat lever. Alright, so I can do both of those. I'm not accidentally hitting my vertical or the A pedal. And then same thing here. I can do left side of the foot, E flat lever and I'm not accidentally hitting the C pedal. I can do A and F and not accidentally engage that vertical. Right? I can do B and C without accidentally hitting the E flat lever, right? Because sometimes when you come over this way, right, you might accidentally bring the knee and engage the E flat lever. Right? So that's something to consider when setting the E flat lever. And again, we're just playing around with all this stuff till it feels right. So that's basically it. Part 5, it says, don't expect it to be perfect the first time through. Play some songs, see how it feels. And I kind of mentioned this earlier. We don't want the pedal heights so far offset that like I can't press both of them and have them start to engage at the same time, right? If I've got them like this, right, when I'm pressing my foot, this one's gonna start, and then now they both going, right? We don't want to hear, right? We want to hear, if that makes sense. They both start engaging at the same time, is another consideration. You guys have any questions? I think I kind of mentioned everything I came in intending to talk about. Yeah, I'll sit here for a minute, see if y'all have any questions. That eight pedal minor one is pretty important, right? Being able to clear that B pedal. All right, y'all. I hope that helps. And if there's no questions, I guess we can call it there. Any questions, please? Or we can just hang out for a minute. David said, gonna look at tightening up the levers. Yeah, there's definitely, the main things to consider with the levers is obviously, the main thing is they can't be too tight. We don't want to accidentally engage them, right? At the same time, we don't want them so far out. Let's see if I can make this one super far out. I got a bunch of knobs there. Okay. Yeah. All right, I got it. See, now it's way out there, right? Yeah, I'm never going to accidentally engage that. But now my knee's way out there when I'm hitting this A and F inversion. That's way too far. And it just ends up being kind of sloppy with it. Right? Whereas if they're tighter in, you just have more control, right? So definitely, yeah, I definitely recommend spending some time getting those levers set up nice and tight. And it's just all kind of super tedious. That's also why it's like, so when you ever sat down at somebody else's guitar and you're just like, ugh, what? You're like, gross. I used to like you as a person, and now I don't know anymore. See how quick that is now? Are you in line, Alan? I am in line with the eclipse, but I'm actually going to go visit my uncle. He's also in Texas, so we're all going to meet up there. I know I should have like rented my house out, made $1,000, but oh well. Yeah, same thing with these levers, right? These can be pretty tight because that's all they got to do, right? Volume pedal, that. Right? Yeah, I've definitely been in some situations where the carpet and you know you don't really notice during sound check because you're just just kind of warming up. And then you get into the gig and you're like, what the heck? So yeah, just kind of having it set up high enough that you just avoid that altogether is not a bad idea. See, I've got that first string half step raise on my vertical. See how high I gotta raise it? My heel. So I actually need to bring that down some because it's not comfortable having to go that far. It is, on the plus side, it is pretty easy to adjust this stuff on Rittenberry, at least. I don't know about other brands, but try that. Do you ever carry a plywood board for carpet situations? No, I don't. Usually, like when I'm playing with Whitey, we bring our own carpets, so it's usually not a big deal. It can become an issue, like if the stage already has a bunch of carpet on it, and then we're putting another carpet on top of that. That's kind of annoying. But as far as like plywood, no. You just kind of readjust your back legs, get it off the carpet a little bit more. And it's not going to feel so different because your seat's also going to be higher, right? So as far as like, your ankle angle, it's going to feel pretty similar. Your elbow angle is going to feel maybe a tiny bit different. But as far as like needing to bring plywood, it's probably a little bit much. But if that makes you feel like you're going to play better, do it. Not bad. Sorry, my guitar is still kind of out of tune from when I tuned down for that Buck Owens lesson we just did. That was a pretty fun one to do. Oh, hey Charles, sorry you missed it. Yeah, I forgot to send out a notice in advance, even though I had it planned. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff just on YouTube for everyone. So if you're not following me on YouTube yet, be sure you subscribe and all that. It'll be like, the Patreon is still going to be like where all the lessons and stuff goes. But as far as like live streams, hangouts, we kind of did that funny reaction video with the Buddy Emmons tuning thing. That is just going to be on YouTube because that's like, I'm not trying to blow everyone up on the Patreon with posting every day. So if you want to see some extra stuff, be sure you're following me on the YouTubes. Kind of the problem that you get to with setting the vertical that I'm kind of noticing, I might turn it just a little bit too much, is when you go for that F lever, you can see I'm kind of raising it just a bit. Actually, if I just press the F, right, I'm not accidentally hitting it. But when I hit F and A, and now I am accidentally hitting it, so I do need to bring it up some. That feels a little better. Not enough. I'm making it worse. Oh, wait, okay. You're out camping, man. That's awesome. We're heading out to the border, West Texas border, to catch the eclipse tomorrow. Cool. I think it's all pretty well set. You're using the lighter of the two NYXL sets. Was wondering if change to the heavier sets. No. Well, you'll have. So there's only, on the different NYXL sets, I think there's only 2 strings that are different. I think the 3rd string is different by, it goes from an 11 to 12, and then I think maybe the 5th string is different. But as far as like pedal heights, lever adjustments, no, you will have to change the pulls very slightly. But it's going to be a tiny bit. You're not going to have to like re-rod or anything, for sure. What was that one? What was that Crockett one? Yeah. used the heavier ones for a little while, but actually I like the lighter ones better. For whatever reason, I don't know. It's probably so subtly different. As most people couldn't even hear it. Is anybody still here? Are we just hanging out now? Yeah, hopefully we'll have some good weather. It's kind of this is what it's like in Texas right now. It's kind of overcast. It's supposed to rain some. So hopefully we'll be able to see. But well, shoot, guys. I guess I'll call it. Send you all on your way. Let me know if any questions come up. But yeah, it's really just messing around till it feels good, and working on your ankle flexion, well, inversion and eversion. All right, I'll see you later.